Oh, come on. Oh, oh. Every time there's something where Buddy fucks it up. Welcome to another riveting edition of The Ghost and the Goat. I just bear with me a second here. I gotta let my people know at Get Haunted that, hey guys, I'm not on the network right now, but it'd be nice for you to come in ninja, do what you guys do, and add me in. That'd be great. But for those of y'all that are tuned in right now, welcome to another edition of The Ghost and the Goat. The Ghost and the Goat. The Ghost and the Goat. My name is Buddy Thayer, paranormal investigator. Welcoming you to join me by the hand, not my beer hand, of course, my other hand, my left hand. Take me by the left hand. And we'll walk together into a very paranormal world. Tonight's guest is nothing less than special. I was scheduled to have him on about a month ago. He had some difficulties driving home from the beautiful hamlet of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and he is now. Matthew. Matt, he'll be on shortly. And he's here, so he's going to be on tonight. So we're going to have a show. Of course, we're going to have a show because you can see my face, but it's going to be more than my face. I'm going to take a quick sip of my beer here. Not Bravo Brewing as the glass suggests, but in fact, Double Thunder Funk. If you're looking for that Bentwater Brewing, if you're looking for that holy Thunder Funk, that stuff's it. So for the first 20 minutes of the show, I'm going to cover a little bit about sports, a little bit of a highlight reel from some local stuff here in Rhode Island that's kind of noteworthy, kind of hilarious and stupid at the same time. So I thought I'd pitch that out to you guys. And then we'll bring on tonight's guest, who's a lovely gentleman, like I said, medium, paranormal investigator, researcher, production. He owns a production company. I'll get more into that in a little bit. Speaking of production, so my Miami Dolphins, I'll start with football really quick. I'm not going to talk about all the other teams. Who cares about them? It's only about the Dolphins this year, as it is every year. And we prove every year by week 3 or so that we're going to suck and that we're going to fail, and all the fans like, ugh. But the Miami Dolphins went out. So we had a bevy of injuries in the offseason, especially in the preseason. We've lost like 3 or 4 of our secondary, our cornerbacks, our guys that are like, when the quarterback throws the ball really deep, these are the guys that are protecting down there to make sure that doesn't happen. We lost a lot of good core members in the offseason. We lost a lot of good core members to free agency and to trades, and to they just didn't want to play for us anymore, jerks. And we were like, ugh, what are we going to do? So they brought in this guy, Minka Fitzpatrick, from the Steelers. We traded away some really good offensive weapons. We got Minka. He came back. Who knows if he'll be any good? We got Jack Jones. He was, I think he was playing for the Raiders last. I don't know. He played for the Patriots a few years ago, so I know his name kind of well. He's really not tremendous, so I wasn't really all that excited until today. The Dolphins went ahead and signed free agent Matt Judon, another former New England Patriot. Matt Judon is a beast defensive end. We got Jalen Phillips back from injury again, torn ACL last year, 2 years in a row. This guy, dude, if it happens the third time, you and Tua might want to hop on the injury bus and go home. We got Chubb coming back after 2 years of being on the shelf. Same thing, torn ACL, MCL. He's a beast. Chubb, Judon, Matt Siegler, a defensive tackle. We got Grant, the guy we drafted, defensive tackle. So we don't have necessarily a substantial secondary for the Miami Dolphins, but that defensive line and those linebackers are going to give the quarterbacks shit, especially Josh Allen. I cannot wait to see Josh Allen run helplessly all along the field and get hammered left and right. Same thing with like Drake May, the New England Patriots. I cannot wait to see the Dolphins run all over your New England Patriots if they are in fact your New England Patriots. In just a few short weeks, week 2 of the NFL. So stay tuned for all that great stuff. I'll be talking shit throughout the season, irregardless whether or not my Dolphins are any good, which they're usually not. Or well, they kind of start okay, and then they by December we just like forget who we are and stop playing football. But like a consummate Dolphins fan that I am, I'm used to losing. So me talking reckless shit is just a given. So you can expect that. Another team I've been talking reckless shit about lately, my beloved Boston Red Sox. They've lost 7 of the last 11 games. Honestly, I was expecting to get beat up a little bit by the Padres, who are a really great baseball team, and by Houston, which they beat us up a little bit, but they're really great baseball teams. They're like, all right, we're going to Marlins, we're going to kick their ass. And then we're going home, and we got the Orioles, who suck. No. They lost like 2 games to, they lost 2 games to the Marlins. One of the games they were ahead 7-1, and the bullpen gave up, one guy gave up 5 runs in 1 inning. Oh my God, it was atrocious. The Orioles last night kicked our ass. It's really not a great week for Buddy in baseball because I've been feeling every loss. And now the New York Yankees are resurging, and the Red Sox are unsurging, of course, as we do so well in September. And they are tied with the Yankees now in the American League East, which is not great. The Blue Jays, we're both 5 games back from the Blue Jays, who are sitting comfortably at first place. We're still in the wild card race. We're tied, I think, for the second, third place spot. The first place spot is held by the hot Seattle Mariners. The National League continues to be devastating. The Milwaukee Brewers are the best team in baseball. They have I think they have like 72 wins or something like that. I can look at that really quick. Like 72 wins or something ridiculous like that. They're nationally. I was looking at it today. The Brewers have 79 wins, the most in Major League Baseball. The Phillies have 72 wins. The Mets 5.5 games back on them. In the East, the Cubbies are keeping their heads above water a little bit, but they're 8 games back on the Brewers. They really took a tumble since the All-Star break. The Dodgers are still hanging on to first. They get the Padres nipping at their heels, and Raffy Devers and the Giants are comfortably 10 games back from the. They're not doing shit. Good for you, Raffy. In the American League, of course, like I said, the Blue Jays are first. The Yankees and the Sox are tied. The Tigers are dominating. They get an 8.5 game lead over the Guardians. And the Stros, they got a game and a half over the Mariners. The Mariners are a really great baseball team. 68 wins, 58 losses. It's going to be a tight race. I hope the Red Sox don't shit their pants and crash like they normally do, but they just might. So if anybody knows me, that's really all I got on sports. What time we got it? It's 8:13. I get enough time. So I really got on sports tonight. I could have a ton more. I could sit here and talk up my Miami Dolphins and how great we're going to be. But instead, I saw this little piece in the news yesterday. And, like, I'm a proud Rhode Islander, right? I'm proud of my Rhode Island accent. I'm proud of my Rhode Island history. I'm proud of we were like one of the great military states. We were the smallest state in the Union, but we're one of the military muscles in this country, whether you realize it or not. Rhode Island has a lot of significant pieces in history, including like essentially like we were ahead of Boston and the Massachusetts Bay Colony as far as like going against Great Britain. We started shit years before they did. So I was always very proud of my Rhode Island heritage, being from this great little state. And it's not about what you know so much as who you know. That's kind of true. There's all this corruption in small town politics. Like Mayor Buddy Cianci, he went to jail. I think. He went to jail twice. He went to jail once. He went to federal jail. even though he said there was no stains on his jacket, there were in fact stains. And Buddy, not this Buddy, but that Buddy, ended up going to jail. After he got out of jail, he tried to be reelected for mayor again, and then he passed away. God rest his soul, because he did great things for Providence, although he was a little crooked. Then you get these other politicians who are just like blatant morons, make complete assholes out of it. Excuse my French, complete assholes out of themselves. And in a day when Buddy Cianci was mayor, like 50 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, guys, there wasn't like the YouTube. There wasn't people with phones. There wasn't body cams. There wasn't any of this shit. Now there are. And it makes life for me a little bit more entertaining. So last year in Rhode Island, we had the kind of the black mark on the state where we had this local woman from Rhode Island. No, she was actually from Massachusetts. She came to Rhode Island. She bought a property, charged people to come in and investigate. It was a ghosty thing. She did batshit crazy things, got caught all over in drama on the news and social media. I'm not going to mention any names. Kind of like, when you think of Rhode Island, you thought of her. Maybe, I hope not. I hope when people think of Rhode Island now, they don't think of this one, but just a classic clip. It's nothing sports, nothing paranormal, maybe other than the fact that this woman's a complete idiot. It's kind of breaking national news. So I thought, hey, buddy, let's just play this video for your audience. Share screen really quick, buddy. And it's a quick 6-minute blip. I'll show it. There's no need for me to talk about it much afterwards. She's an idiot. This is a public official, lady, a little bit of class. So this is in Newport, Rhode Island. Newport's a lovely town. It's right by the water. It's the original capital of Rhode Island. It's got a lot of like really fancy schmancy restaurants. I guess I'll allow that. And you see when I see it. And this lady who's, as you might have heard, is the AG. She's not the AG. She does Supreme Court cases. And her friend, who's an executive of the Pepsi Corporation, and their boyfriend, significant others, traveled to this restaurant in Bowden's Wharf in Newport, which is a really nice section of Newport, and really expensive restaurants. And they got drunk, was asked to leave, refused to leave, think they're better than other people. This, if anything, ladies and gentlemen, this just proves that you're not better than anybody. Nobody's better than anybody, no matter what you do for work, no matter how much money you have. Everybody can look like a jackass on national television. Here you go. I'm just going to play this really quick, and then we'll flip the switch. Beep. Oh, the sound. All right, so the cop's pulling up here, right? He's driving through Newport. How's the sound, guys? Or anything. Just have a dog. No. Oh, here we go.
I want you to turn your body cam off.
This is
The
her.
protocol is that you turn it off. If a citizen requests it to turn it off, she's a lawyer.
So they want you guys to leave?
Yes, we're gonna leave.
Let's just leave. Let's just make it easy,
We're gonna
okay?
leave. We're gonna make it easy.
No,
That's not.
I am. Okay. I'm her
That's
husband.
not the point. Can you look at me?
Yeah, we'll talk over here, okay?
Your protocol is.
Can we all talk? Can we all talk?
We'll talk over here. They want you to leave.
Your protocol is.
Can we talk?
Just talk. There's your opportunity.
What's that?
No, nothing. Nothing.
She is our college friend. Yes.
No, I'm not.
You guys just want them out? Do you want them trespassed?
Anything we can do. Trespass, yeah. I just need
Trespass, get them
yeah.
out.
Please.
Get them out of there.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Here we
You
go.
want to chat?
I know that your protocol is.
So you're trespassed, so we got to leave now. Unless you want to be in there.
We're not trespassing. You haven't notified us that we're trespassing.
You guys
Number one.
what did
Number
I
two.
just say to you? You're
You're
trespassed. Let's go.
Number one.
I don't
Number
want to
two.
arrest you guys.
You're not going to arrest us. Number two
So let's
is
leave.
that
We got to go. We got to go.
protocol
Let's go.
is
Let's
to
go.
make the citizen
Just go, lady.
We ask you to
I
turn
don't
the
want
body
to
cam
deal
off.
with this. Let's
Okay.
go.
No, I understand you don't want to deal with it,
Okay,
but the
let's go.
protocol is,
Wait,
and your
can
protocol is
you
if I ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off, and that's your protocol.
No fact
She's
to that.
lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's lawyer
She's a
stuff, so
fucking
that's not
lawyer.
true. So we got to go.
No, it is. That's
She's a
that's
drunken
law.
lawyer.
I'm an
What's she
AG.
saying?
I'm an AG.
She's an AG.
I don't give a Let's go. We're going. Let's go.
Excuse.
We're leaving.
Please don't.
We're leaving.
Please don't put your hands on us.
Can you get your children out of here? Like, I don't know why.
I'm sorry. What?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, here we go. Look at the blonde. Here we go.
They're two full-grown women and mothers.
Oh, there they come. Yep. And you're under arrest now.
You're just being detained. You're just being detained.
This swear game's good.
I'm an AG.
I'm an AG too. I'm an AG.
What
I'm an AG. I'm above the law. I'm an AG.
You're being detained because you're not leaving.
Because you're a fucking idiot, lady. That's why you're being detained. They gave you 15 opportunities to walk away, and you chose to run your
You're
clock.
not leaving.
I'm an AG.
All right, let's go.
I'm an AG. She's an AG, though. She's an
Let's
AG.
go.
I'm not being arrested. You're putting me in cuffs. I'm not being
Okay, do you have any
arrested.
weapons on you?
No, I'm an AG.
Her badge is in the car. You wanna
I'm an
get that?
AG.
Let me tell you something. You're
Buddy,
arresting.
get the hell out of here. What are you seriously?
You're arresting
An
an AG. Let me tell you
AG.
something.
Are you on arrest right now? No.
You're putting me in handcuffs and you're Mirandizing. You're not Mirandizing me.
You're not Mirandizing her.
Relax. Relax.
She's an AG.
Buddy, you're gonna regret this.
You're gonna regret this,
You're
buddy.
gonna regret
No, I'm not, lady.
I'm an AG.
I'm an AG. Shut the fuck. Oh, love it. The best one though is yet to come. The other blonde. Here we go.
Hands off me.
We will get the
Take your
license.
fucking hands off
Dave,
me.
we will get the
She's
license.
getting
No.
No. We will get the license.
No, bitch. Get out of here, guy.
Get back. Get back right now. Get back.
Love it. Oh, love this. Yep. Executive of Pepsi Cola Corporation, New York City. Right here, this lady. Classic.
Your cuffs.
Are you an AG too?
Right here. Right here. It's okay.
All right, stuff in the
Right
car.
here. No. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Look at her. Look at her. Look at that. Yeah. Get rough. Get tough. Yeah. Oh, 110 pounds. Yeah, drunken ass. You moron.
No, babe, please, I'm scared.
I'm right here.
I'm scared. Shut
I'm
up.
not gonna find hands on
Yeah.
I'm right here. Okay.
No,
Oh,
my friend.
I'm right here.
No. Babe,
I'm right here.
babe,
I'm right
babe.
here.
no,
Babe.
Relax. Relax.
What's wrong with you?
Relax.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
Let's go.
No, babe.
Babe.
You're overreacting.
You're adding
You're
charges.
overreacting.
She said you're fucking overreacting. That's what she said there.
Please take my friends out. Please take them out of handcuffs. No, please take them.
You were overreacting. You didn't have to have this happen. Get in the car.
No.
Babe, no!
You got two to ten.
I'm right here.
Get in
No!
Oh. Oh.
Get back.
Yes. Look at that. Look at her. Oh. Classic.
Get in the car.
Oh.
I'm right here.
Get your feet in the car.
Get your feet in the fucking car. Hey, I'm right here.
Oh. Madness.
Get your feet in the car. Get your feet in the car. You're a grown adult. You're acting like a kid.
Acting like a kid. Go back to New York, lady, and act like a kid there.
This is so inappropriate.
Oh, it's so inappropriate. It's right. Oh. Oh my God, I'd hate to have to drive that squad car. Actually, I'd love to get to drive that squad car with her in the back like that. Oh.
You don't want them trespass. They were just throwing a fit.
Oh. Protect and serve, gentlemen. Protect and serve. Thank you. Oh, that was a heartwarming moment. Oh, I don't know. I'm in big screen right now. Hold on a second. Heartwarming moment with that was Vanessa. I'm not gonna say her last name, and Devon, the AG, if you will. Devon is attorney. It works for the Attorney General's office in the appellate court system in Superior Courts. Wait a minute. I'm still hearing stuff. Okay. And made a complete jackass. You saw that. She had multiple opportunities to leave. Lady, just leave. All they want to do is run their clucks. Drunken idiots. I used to work at a bar, believe it or not. I was a bouncer. So things like this, maybe it's my dark humor. Maybe because I have worked in mental health for 25 years. I just find it absolutely hilarious. All right, so sports is done. Fun stuff here in Rhode Island is done. I'm going to bring on tonight's guest. Tonight's guest, bear with me a moment. He's a career firefighter and hazardous materials response specialist for over 2 decades. In addition to investigating hauntings, he has completed course studies in ancient civilizations, omens, oracles, and prophecies through HarvardX and occult practices, combined with his unique skill set as an artifact recovery expert and an avid metal detectorist. Aids in bringing another layer to his research. That's pretty fascinating. We hope to get into that real soon. He is the co-creator and lead host of The Gathering, a live streaming show, and co-owner of Shadowwork Productions, LLC, director, editor, executive producer of the independent documentary film Field of Fears, The Haunting of Randolph County Asylum, coming to whatever near you. Following an inexplicable encounter with the spirit, he felt an undeniable urge to unravel the mysteries of the unknown. Haven't we all, my friend? The encounter would alter the course of Matthew's life, sending him on a journey transitioning from skeptic to medium paranormal investigator. That's a hell of a transition, sir. Armed with a blend of technological prowess and methodical approach, he delved into exploration and countless investigations, including renowned hauntings. I lost my spot. And oh my God, buddy. Oh my God, where did I go? Jesus Christmas, it's a Tuesday. Renowned hauntings and enigmatic phenomena. Matthew learned that the paranormal not only exists, but it has a lasting impact on those who encounter it. He's also the founder of the group SRS Paranormal and Shadowwork LLC Productions. Please welcome to the show, Matt Sorge. Matthew.
Hey,
how you doing, dude? Welcome, dude.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me tonight. I'm glad to be here.
Fantastic. Glad you could make it. All right. So I'm gonna start off right from the beginning. Paranormal. You went from a skeptic to being a paranormal investigator and a medium. That's a pretty
big jump.
Big 180. When did this 180 happen? And was it something significant that triggered it?
Yeah. So, actually, it was several things. The first thing that happened was I was one of those people that had never had a paranormal experience myself. I thought it was really cool that people did. I just wasn't the guy that ever had one. Then I was metal detecting, and that's like a hobby that I've had. I was doing that. I had that experience that changed my life. Oh, wow. I used to say I had the time to go back to the site 6 weeks later, but the reality was I got the nerve to go back. After that, I had a second experience, and that started me on this journey. So I've spent the last just over 20 years investigating and studying the paranormal phenomenon. Several hundred investigations probably at this point, all over the country. Some of the most infamous hauntings, that are out there. Plenty of residential cases. Pretty much, it's become almost like a full-time gig when I'm not at the fire department. And along that pathway, awesome. The more that I investigated, and the more that I found myself in, the paranormal and diving deeper into it, the more that stuff would get weirder. And I started sensing the weirdness more and more. In 2017, I'm giving you the Reader's Digest version, but 2016-ish, 2016, I met Rhonda Claudel. She is our lead psychic medium on the team, and started working with her. And she does a lot of stuff with Victorian era methods. I was real skeptical of psychics. I was real skeptical of mediums. I was real skeptical of dowsing and all that stuff. I thought it was all hokey and all 1-900 Cleo shit,
It could be manipulated until you actually look at it. But until you actually see it, and it's like, oh my God, no. But go on.
Totally, was not a believer of that stuff. And then she opened my eyes to a whole different side of the paranormal. Yep. She really showed me that, somebody that really is skilled and really does train and really is good at what they do can really communicate with the dead. And she started telling me, you're sensitive because you have these abilities. Anybody can develop these abilities. And I wasn't sure if that was true. And I started a few years later, I started really trying to understand a little bit more about the things I was sensing and feeling. I worked with her for about a year. Then I worked with Medium Sky Ray, who is one of the mediums that's featured in the film that hopefully we'll talk a little bit about. That's actually imminently releasing finally. I worked with her for a little over a year. Then after that, I went on and worked with James Von Prague, who is one of the world-renowned mediums. Actually took his mediumship course, spent 6 months developing under him. And now I, work as a medium along with, paranormal research and occult practices and everything else. So yeah, my journey has been a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So, at what point in your journey, did you realize that you had something going on?
Yeah,
Like,
I'd say about 5 or 6 years ago, I was at Brushy Mountain Penitentiary in here in East Tennessee. It's about an hour and a half away from here. So one of the most notorious prisons in the United States. It was over 10,000 deaths on that property in its history. It was known as the end of the line paranormal. And we were there, and I was picking up on stuff happening before it would happen. And at one point, I felt like a man was walking up behind me, and I could see in my mind this man coming down the hall. And before I could get the words out, Rhonda's like, "There's a guy coming down the hall. This is what I'm seeing." And it was literally what I was seeing. So I was sharing that experience with her before I even really understood what that was. And that's when I started working with her. So yeah,
that's pretty cool. I myself I have always had like little experiences throughout my life. I can remember being like really young. I'm a history dork, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show. Wicked.
Well, I'm a metal detectorist. Likewise.
I went to school. I went to Rhode Island College. I studied history for a while. I ended up going back and getting another degree. But anyway, done it forever. I've been to get like we talked about the last time you were going to be on the show. You were coming back from Gettysburg. I go to Gettysburg almost every single year, or I try and get there every single year. And I have never once investigated there. I just go there there's a ton of Rhode Island history. I get a ton of Rhode Island.
Yeah. Right.
I go for a lot of that. I go for the dorky shit.
Sure.
I was always into so as a kid, I was raised, my father is also a big history dork. So he would take us to, instead of going to Disneyland every year, or Disney World rather, we'd go to Mount Vernon. We go to Gettysburg. Yeah. We go to Battlefield of Antietam. We go to Shiloh down in Tennessee. We go to all these different like locations. And I started having these like weird sensations, but I wouldn't attribute it at the time. Like I wouldn't attribute it to like being like a ghost or feeling anything. It would just like be like, just a weird, freaky feeling. I was always into like unsolved mysteries and the unexplained, all that. It always interested me. And then in my teens, we tried like almost chasing it down. So here in Rhode Island, there are a number of sites that are like spots people would go for what they call like legend tripping. So they go and they try to experience something. We do stuff like that. Never had any really concrete experiences. So I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, it's just people trying to like scapegoat stuff that they can't explain onto like, right. And that's what I always thought it was. I'm like, it's nice to think something like that is real. I started having doubts about religion. I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. This is all this bullshit through my 20s. And in my late 20s, I started working in a group home, and people would say, "Hey, stop trying to tell me their ghost stories." I'm like, "Don't tell me this shit. I was working the overnight shift. I don't want to hear this. I was alone with 7 children. I was sleeping. Right? I don't want to hear anything shit." Kids would wake up with like these weird stories, like seeing a man in their room. Like, no, you're having a dream. No. Yeah. But then it started subtle, like that feeling, like somebody right here. Or like one night I was folding laundry. I was holding a sheet. I had my arms like straight out. I pull on the back of my shirt like this, a tug. I swear to God, I turned around and expected to see a kid that was no one there. I'm like, I'd hear the phantom footsteps going up the stairs above me. I grabbed the keys. I'd run upstairs. There's no one there.
Nobody there. Yep.
I would tell myself it was everything else but a ghost until I saw the ghost. And then from that point on, I dove right into it headfirst like you did. But for a while, even now, I wouldn't call myself a medium because I've seen ghosts. I've seen people. They've told me things. I've heard them. Does that make me a medium? Does that make me special, so to say? Yeah.
I think anybody, and I truly believe this, and working with 3 different, really good mediums to get to where I am, I really believe anybody can develop it. Everybody is capable of it. But if you think about it, society actually wants us to dismiss these things. Society doesn't. We're the weirdos, right? We're the outcasts. We're the freaks that run around the graveyards and stuff looking for dead people. Society kind of downplays that. The kids talking to somebody, oh, it's an imaginary friend. And sometimes it is. I mean, I think over 90% of it can probably still be explained with rational, real, honing your skills and really researching. But, society by and large doesn't want you to question these things or experience these things. So I think anybody can develop the skills. I think with the right training and the right practice and the dedication and mindset, anybody is capable of opening up to mediumship. I don't think you have to be born with it or be special.
So what's some of the things you do if you want to go from like one end to another, like unopened to open? What's something that you would recommend somebody does?
Yeah. So the first thing is there is a great book, and I recommend this to anybody that is interested in exploring their sensitivities in terms of the paranormal energies and those sort of things. And it is Trust Your Vibes. I will butcher the lady's name, but it's called Trust Your Vibes, and her name is something. It's hard to pronounce. It's Claretta or something. It's a very difficult name to pronounce for me. Probably easy for
her
some.
name anyway. So yeah.
I don't have the book handy, but yeah, it's Trust Your Vibes. It's a fantastic book, and you can find it on Amazon if you put in Trust Your Vibes, and you might be able to pronounce her name. Sonia Cruchet. There you go.
Yeah, that sounds.
See, I can't pronounce that, so I'm glad you did that. But yeah, great book. That's a great book. That is one of my go-to starting point books to read, because it's the first book I ever read on the topic. The second thing would be, is really just trying to learn to meditate and be able to get outside of your own head, because all the work in mediumship is basically you got to step aside. You got to put yourself aside, let spirit talk, and your job is just to give the message. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to interpret it. It's literally just to give the message to somebody and tell the story. That's it. That's all you are as a messenger.
Nice. Do you feel that as humans, do you feel like our ego gets in the way sometimes?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. One of the things that von Prague talks about in his classes is called ego. And he talks about ego as edging God out. You're literally edging out what makes you divine and what makes you, more than just an amoeba. And you're getting stuck in your own mind instead of letting the message come through. So you literally do have to learn how to step aside so that you can properly blend with spirit to give messages. And that's what the skill is that you have to develop to do.
That's awesome. Do you do readings with people now, or do you just use it?
I do. I don't. Yeah, I do. I don't do a lot. That's not my main focus, where I'm so busy, where I'm still a full-time firefighter and I've got the production company and I'm still doing a lot of stuff with investigations. I will occasionally do readings. Mostly what I use my skills for is on investigations, or if we do a lot of public events. So I'll bring a lot of messages over during publics, do occasional gallery readings myself and two of the other mediums I work with, Tori Starnes and Rhonda on my team. We do gallery readings and things like that. And we do have another show or another project that we're working on. It's already in post-production. It'll be coming out as the second, probably docu-series style film. Not sure where it's going to go yet, but it involves us working cold cases. So that's what I do, a lot of stuff with that.
That is awesome. I actually I tell people this all the time, and they're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, this was the thing. So friends of my parents, they have some friends. We'll call him Vince. Vince had a sister in 1989. She was at a bar and she left with a guy, and the guy raped and murdered her and dumped her body on the side of the highway. Months went by. They could not find her. They could not find trace of her. They didn't know what happened to her. They eyeballed this guy for her, but they couldn't link the body. They couldn't get anything. They did searches. They went crazy looking for her. They brought in a medium, and the medium told the cop that found the body where the body was, and then they went and they looked and they found it. Just and that was 1989. Before any of this was really it's not that it's mainstream now, but I mean it's way more mainstream now than it was 40 years ago, and it's just so friggin' awesome. Man, that was
man, buddy, to your point, 10 years ago, even 15 years ago, if I was on here saying that I did that, there'd be at least 2/3 of your audience that would be whatever. So it is a lot more accepted than it was. And I totally get that, because and of course there are charlatans out there. There are bad mediums out there. There are terrible psychics out there. But that's with anything, right? I mean, you have we just saw some bad AGs in the front of your show here. So I mean, hey, there's bad apples in every bunch, right? It's just a thing.
Yeah, dude. Just paranormal investigators. I mean, I do this
For sure.
at no cost to anybody. I've never charged
Me
anybody.
neither.
People have tried
Nope.
to donate, yeah, whatever. But I'm not like I'm not doing this for profit. I'm not doing this for self promotion. I'm doing this because one, I want to help people because I know what it feels like to live in that situation, to be in that situation, and to have that relief, have that somebody that will listen to you, be like, no, you're not crazy. I've had these experiences too. That's
For sure.
remarkable to do for somebody else, and then to understand more myself about what's going on, have more experiences, not as a thrill factor, but as, I mean, kind of as a
Yeah,
thrill
and
factor.
what
But
happen and what happens next? You know, what happens after we leave this shell? You know, what's
right,
the next step? That's a
right,
big driver for me too.
like
I
enlighten
know
myself
something
a little bit more.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
right. Yeah.
I'm sure all the major religions have all about the same really good idea, but I'd like to know maybe I don't know, maybe my own. I don't know.
I
Maybe I don't
agree.
want to know it all. I honestly, but I mean, be able to talk with somebody who's passed or talk to someone like yourself, right? I've had countless mediums on this show that have blown my mind, Matt. They have told me shit that, like, there is no way you could know
Yeah,
this about me, and you're sitting here telling me, like,
sure.
what, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's absolutely, and I've had mediums come on here and do like readings for people, and some of the people just like really needed to hear or needed
For
to
sure.
be make that connection, and it's made such a beautiful connection for people. It's
And that's the hardest thing, I think. Being a
mhm.
medium and working ethically is the toughest thing. And what I mean by that is there are times, and I'll preface it with this. For me, it's a challenge because of my job as a firefighter.
Mhm,
I have to work very hard to turn those abilities way down, or I
mhm.
couldn't do my job running calls and treating patients, and because I would feel everything and I would experience everything and I
Oh
would
my
be
god, yeah.
dealing with stuff that I didn't need to be dealing with. So I have to turn that stuff off when I work at the fire department. So
Okay.
it's that's a challenge. But the working ethically part, what I mean by that is there are times that spirit will nag at you. Spirit is like, man, this lady walks by you at a grocery store, and you see her mom with her, or something's there, and
Mhm,
you're getting a message, and that spirit desperately wants you to talk to the person. But the
mhm.
person may not be ready to hear that. Plus, you're a complete stranger. How weird is that shit to walk up
Yeah,
and say, "Oh,
right.
hey, by the way, your mom Sue is standing back here, and she says, don't forget to cook the Christmas goose." That would be really weird. So
Really
it's
weird.
hard. It's hard navigating that because sometimes the spirit is so desperate to get their message out, and the person is just not ready to hear it, and
Right,
that's tough sometimes.
right. That's still incredible for anybody that experiences grief. To be able to get that like intimate
Closure,
message, it's just like they just
absolutely.
like yeah, it's closure. It's relief. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like they're dead, but it's like they're almost like they're not gone completely, like because they're talking to
No,
you like
they're definitely
personally.
not. They're with us. They stay with us. They are still part of our journey. Just because we can't see their physical being does
Mhm.
not mean they're not with us,
That
because they
energy
are.
for sure. Matt, let me ask you something. As an
Yeah.
investigator, as a medium, what are your thoughts on so now why only certain people hang on? Why only certain people um
Wow.
become
That's
ghosts, so
yeah.
to say, you know?
I've got a weird view on this, and I'm not going to say that this is the universally correct answer. It is my rational deduction after 20 plus years in the paranormal and last 5.5 or so working on this side of the coin in the paranormal. I think it's for a variety of different reasons. I
Hmm.
personally think, and I know that religious beliefs may counter some of this, and I say, hey, do you? If that's your belief system, that's cool. I just know what my experiences have been, so I can only speak to my experiences. And it is simply that I think they can come over when we need us, when we need them. They can
Hmm.
be present. Sometimes they act as guides, meaning that
Hmm.
they're kind of like our spirit council on the other side.
Yeah.
They're there to help us through things. They give us instruction. They
Yeah.
communicate with us in our dreams. They give us things whether we realize it or not. Sometimes that intuition, that gut feeling, is also coming from spirit in that sense.
Hmm.
Um, but I think the reason that spirits hang on can be a number of things. Tragedy, obviously, can
Hmm.
cause spirits to remain. Unfinished business, extreme guilt over poor decisions, fear of moving on. I think
Hmm.
I've encountered in the spirits that I've encountered, especially on this side of the coin. It's been all those things. Those are all the reasons
Yep.
that they come on, or they come back because they want their story told. So I think
Yep.
they're able to move. because I have encountered spirits at different locations, the same spirit. So that kind of changes the context of, well, this place is haunted because XYZ happened. Not necessarily. It's also why sometimes you can have a lot of activity and then all of a sudden it goes away. It could just simply be the spirit's gone too.
Yeah, dude, I've investigated a residential home for example. We did it on a Monday. One weekend it was, no pun intended, dead. Nothing. Not a thing. We did it on a Friday. We did it on a Friday night. Every meter went off. I had like 40 EVPs, like crazy activity. So something like that is like, just, are they pop in and out as they please? They come and go whenever?
I think that's part of it. And I don't really know what the formula is, but there are definitely certain times that seem to bring out more activity than others. And I don't necessarily buy into it has to be a full moon or Halloween or these different. Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, it could be. I'm just saying I don't have any evidence to say that, oh, for sure, if you have a full moon, you're going to have good paranormal activity.
Or thunderstorms or
do I think those things sometimes amplify activity? Yes.
Maybe.
That's why I think I mean, it's possible. I think it's important to investigate when activity is happening. Sometimes people will report activity happening and it's happening at 2:00 in the afternoon. Well, if you come in at 2:00 in the morning and the activity only ever happens at 2:00 in the afternoon, well, it's either something worldly explainable, A, or B, it's residual, and it doesn't. If you're not there when the loop opens up, you're not going to catch the activity. So I think it's a number of things, and I think that's why for me, I will never investigate a place one time and say nope, it's not active.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Multiple times. I think they got to get used to you too, like as an investigator, as a person. Because
I tell everybody that people, you're going into their house, you're going into their place. You can't go in there like an asshole, expect to get like, oh, hey, how you doing? It's just not. You got to treat them like people, essentially. That's
because they are people.
Yeah, right.
I mean, most of the time, that's what you're dealing with, right? So, I mean, if you went into the local, Walmart or Target or whatever, and you just started being crazy in front of people and talking to my microphone, people wouldn't talk to you. They'd be like, no, I'm not talking to your microphone. So why would we expect spirits to do the exact same thing, right? I mean, they're not circus animals.
Right, no, they're not there to perform, make all my lights go flashy, or make the talk. I honestly, I might be annoyed if I was a ghost and people kept coming back and doing the same shit over and over again.
Gosh.
I'd be like, screw these guys.
Could you imagine every single time you encountered new investigators? How did you die? What did you die from? And the same 5 questions that every ghost hunter asks. You'd be like, no, not today.
Right. Do you have any? Did you love your family? What's your name? All the same generic questions that everybody asks. Yep.
I mean, for me, even as an investigator, I have found just turning a recorder on or leaving cameras running and just going about talking normally and having a conversation with the people you're with, or just talking about the place, will get more activity than sitting there doing a focused EVP session will get in my personal experience.
Oh, dude, at the end of the night, you're sitting there, everybody's like tired, and you start just bullshitting, or you just start like telling jokes, and it's like, who's that laughing? Who is that?
Exactly.
Like, it's awesome. It never ceases to amaze me. I haven't gotten out investigating in about 6 months or so. I have this podcast. I have a beer podcast that I do. I'm in grad school right now. I work full time.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, dude. I'm working to be a therapist. So
fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, but I tell everybody, like, the ghosts will always be there. This will always be around. They're not going to go anywhere.
No.
Even if they do, new ones will take that spot, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But it never ceases to amaze me. Just certain little things, you say one thing, or you just like, I don't know, just certain techniques. What's as an investigator, do you have a tool that you prefer to use over anything else?
Yes, I'm not going to give you the cliche thing and say the best tool is you, because that is true.
It is.
No.
It is.
Yes, it is for sure. But no, for me, I think my go-to is 2 things. I always like to have a recorder or a body camera or something going.
Amen. Digital recorder all day. Yep.
Because you never know when you're going to capture something.
And it doesn't have to be anything silly, ridiculously expensive. I tell everybody, I got my recorder like 12 years ago at Walmart for $40.
Cell phone's got a recorder.
Thousands of EVPs,
I've caught them on my cell phone. I mean, cell phones are. We were at. Quick story. We were at Chickamauga Battlefield with my family.
Chickamauga. Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so pulled out the cell phone because I had nothing else and did a recording. And sure enough, we were coming through somewhere and the EVP says, halt, who goes there? Clears them out.
Oh,
So it was cool shit. Because I mean, here we're on a battlefield and we get this, Class A EVP that says that. And I just used my phone, right? Because that's what I had. So yeah, I don't think you have to have the, $10,000 worth of gear. You still have to have you and the the willingness to be patient and do it. But my second go-to is the EDI, which are becoming increasingly hard to come by. But I love thank you, Tennille. I love to use the EDI because you're getting environmental data. And
EDI is like what? What is that? I've seen those before.
So it's made by, I think it's Central Paranormal or Paratech makes it. They're hard to get. I don't even know if they're still in business, still make them, but I've had mine for years. But you're getting pressure, humidity, you're getting temperature, you're getting vibration, you're getting EMF, and it records to an SD card. So you're actually you can set that like a little station there, and you're getting environmental data. And I have started to correlate, especially doing the mediumship side, correlating spikes in certain things like pressure and EMF and things when activity is happening. Now I haven't been able to pinpoint it to say, oh, it's always this or that, but there is a correlation, right? So the more data you can gather when you're investigating or when you're doing that type of work, the harder it becomes to dismiss it as in your mind or always just being the rattling, furnace or whatever. When you have more data to back that up, you get those tertiary validations.
It's documented. It's research. It's field research. It's the best way to go about it. It's,
Absolutely.
I know some people who don't do anything. They don't record anything. They just go on experience. So like, how the hell are you gonna how are you gonna prove anything? Not prove that. Not that we can prove this really, but I mean, how are you gonna present anything to anybody? Like you had an experience at this location. How are you gonna what about the recorder dude? He's like, oh, I don't really bring that stuff with me. I just go for thrill factor. But how do you consider yourself an investigator if you're not really,
how are you going to remember the experiences? You might remember 1% of it, but then you're going to have somebody on your team or somebody who's there tell a story, and you'll be like, I don't remember that. But if you had the data and you had some good notes, you might be able to pull that back up. Plus, hell, you might decide to write a book someday, like we're doing. So I mean, you never know.
That's awesome. So you guys. Let me ask about that. You guys are writing a book. You're doing a production. Let's start with the book. Go ahead.
All right. So actually, it's not our first book. I've actually been published in a couple of things.
Really?
I contributed to 23 Tales. It's an anthology of the Appalachian region. So it's pretty much anything from just south of you, like Pennsylvania area, all the way on down through almost Alabama-ish, that whole mountain range through there.
Yeah.
So it's that whole 8 or 10 state area. Yeah. And it's an anthology of ghost stories, but they aren't like ghost stories in the terms of folklore. They're actual ghost stories based on people's experiences. So it's called 23 Tales was the first one. 24 Tales came out this year. I didn't contribute to 24 Tales, but I did 23 Tales. I contributed my story, and I also contributed an experience at a place called the Deer Inn that we have locally. And then I also have a story in 25 Tales, which is this year's version that will be coming out, and it is based on experiences I had at Brushy Mountain Penitentiary. Also, the film that's getting ready to come out, we do have a book out with it. That's a companion book that tells the story, the backstory of Randolph County Asylum, and tells a little bit about our story and some of the stuff in there. So that book's out. And right now we are compiling a book for next year of pretty much our most, most extreme, I won't say extreme, but the most impressive experiences I guess we've had. Sort of like a greatest hits, if you will, of what my team has experienced from all of our perspectives. We're actually writing it from our perspectives, like from each individual investigator's perspective. Some parts will have, the other side of some of the other investigators that were present. Some of them will have more of the historians, portion of it, because I have two degreed historians on my team as well. So
that's really helpful. Yeah. That's really cool. So you're based in Tennessee?
Yep, East Tennessee. So if you're familiar with NASCAR, Bristol.
I'm not familiar with NASCAR, but I am familiar with Tennessee. Is it east of Knoxville or is it west of Knoxville?
Okay, so about an hour and a half northeast of Knoxville. Oh, okay. So if you think of Tennessee, the very tip up here, we're right near the very tip on this side. Memphis
nice.
is down here on the other end, and we're up here at the
Yep.
top.
Yep, one of the road trips my father took me on, and my parents, we went on as a kid. We drove down to Tennessee, drove across the state of Tennessee, went to Knoxville, Chattanooga, Chickamauga, Shiloh,
Oh yeah.
Memphis, Nashville. I said that. Did all the whole state, gorgeous mountains. And then I have family down in North Carolina, South Carolina. So
Oh, very good.
driving down that way, driving to the Shenandoahs and driving down the Appalachian Trail, it's gorgeous down there. I absolutely love it. Look forward to getting back to Tennessee someday. To be honest with you,
Well,
I have
when
a
you get
friend
down
that
this
lives.
way, so when you get down this way, holler at me because I got some
Sure
places I'll take you to investigate.
Sure will.
Talk
I
about one
got
of
a
them here in a
friend that
minute.
lives down there in Tennessee. Sin Trader Hill. Do you know her? She's an author. She investigates.
I don't think
No,
so.
she's from Tennessee.
Not off the top of my
It's a
head.
big state. I'm from Rhode Island, so we all know each other. But you guys are like probably like 400 Rhode Islands thrown into one. So
Yeah, I mean, from where I live to Memphis is 9 hours. So to get across the state, it takes 9 hours. So,
nice. Wow, that's huge. So the video that you get you have a documentary coming out. It's called Field of Fears. Yes.
Field of Fears, the haunting of Randolph County Asylum.
What now? What the asylum? That was a mental health facility. Tell me a little bit about that.
Randolph County Asylum is in Winchester, Indiana, and it is owned by Dan Allen. He owns several properties. It's actually called Save the Old Properties or STOP. He owns Jim Jones's family church that he grew up in, a school, a speakeasy, the Stone Mansion, and then, of course, Randolph County Asylum. Randolph County Asylum is, a lot of people, when they think of asylums, and this is kind of why we wanted to do this story and sort of where the story takes you in the film. You know, a lot of people think of asylums as places where people were tortured in the name of medical science. And that's what the thought is of a lot of people have about asylums. But they're not. Right. Yeah, and people don't know that. Like, a lot of people don't really realize that. And what we learned through that is, like Randolph County's particular case, it was more of a county poorhouse. You know, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, pretty much every county in every state just about had, or every state had, homes like that where people that just didn't fit the norms of society were placed in the care of the state or the county and were put in these facilities. So they were really places of refuge and salvation for these people, not what people think of as lunatic asylums.
Right. The chronically poor, those who had like maybe like mental illness, like,
substance abuse.
Yep.
For sure. For sure.
I myself, like I said, I work in mental health for 25 years, and I've worked in state hospitals and
right. So know, I mean, firsthand.
I know the whole institutional, the whole model. Yeah.
But I think a lot of people have that misconception that, oh my God, they're all like Arkham on Batman, and that's just not really, really a fair definition for asylums.
Right. I mean, there are some that were like, we have one here in
notoriously bad. Yeah.
Well, the lad school, it was a lot of abuse, neglect. I had no clients who live there who are old now, and they have horror stories. But then there's other people who tell you like really like touching stories of family and growing up there and living there. So it's all based on perspective, I think, maybe.
For sure, and that's why we really wanted to tell that story, because when we started really digging into the history and starting to find out, and that was one of the delays in the film, kind of jumping ahead, but we worked on it for the project for 4 years, and we've made multiple trips there to investigate. And we did multiple, and I'll tell you a little background on that in a minute, but multiple trips to investigate and multiple production trips to ensure we told the story correctly. And about halfway through the production process, or the post-production process, found out that some of the history we had was completely incorrect. So we literally had to go back and change, shoot a bunch of the recrees again, because we had the wrong history. And I wasn't going to put a film out with the wrong history. I wasn't going to do that, because the site, the spirits, they all deserve better than that. So we want to make sure we told an accurate story,
Right. It's not just about like the ghosts and the horror and all that. It's about the people who live there, the people who
it's about the stories, about the people who this was the only place they ever knew as home their whole lives.
Right. There's a house in Rhode Island. I'm not going to mention it by name. It's closed down now, but there was a movie.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, based around that. Completely butchered. Butchered. Even the original ghost book that was written about the experience in the houses completely butchered those stories, completely butchered the history. Just made a
It has
complete
become
mockery of
something that it is not and never was.
Exactly. It's not even close to what it was. I myself have never investigated there and
Me neither.
have no interest. It's I drive by it multiple times a week. My girlfriend lives a town over in Massachusetts. It's the boring town in Massachusetts. I drive through it to get home. It's a nice scenic drive. But driving by that place now, it's like no pun intended. It's like a ghost town. There's nobody that's been there in months because she's like
Absolutely.
Get back to you. I do have your the trailer loaded for Field of Fears. I'm gonna play that really quick. We'll take a quick look at that, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. There we go. Beep, 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 beep.
There are those locations that call to us. Maybe it's something we read about the history of the location, something that draws us in. Maybe as we're driving by, something about its architecture catches our eye.
The doors in this building start slamming.
I saw a lady in a white dress, ran down after her. She was nowhere to be found.
Ida Dunkel was admitted to the asylum and had hanged herself.
This particular woman is just like off the chain.
Somebody literally just ran through there.
Oh, wow, is he strong?
There's an interesting story that goes with this room.
Talking about 58,000 square feet. So it's an audio challenge for anyone.
So we're getting ready to do a crazy experiment.
You touch me again.
Oh, fucking dolls, man. That looks awesome.
No, thank you.
That looks great, dude. All right, so question one. Why is the woman always in a white dress?
I don't know, but that is a thing. White
That
or
is
light
like
blue.
such
Always.
a thing, dude, around the paranormal. There's always a woman in a white
So
dress.
weird.
Two.
Go
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was
No,
going to say,
no.
you're so right. And even my ghost story, my one thing that started me with the paranormal journey was I saw a full apparition when I was metal detecting in the window of a house. Long story short, she shouldn't have been able to have been there. The roof was caving in. Nobody lived in the place for 40 or 50 years. And she couldn't have been up there. There's no way anybody could have been up there. And I confirmed that later when I went back and checked out the second floor. And you couldn't even get to the second floor because there was no way to access it. But she was in a light blue gown. So it's like, it's always white or light blue. It was a light blue or white colored gown. So I don't know if it's something that like we have to, in our brains, assign something so we automatically make it a white dress, but it's a thing. Like so many places that have these stories, it's always a white dress. So
always.
I don't know if it really is or if that's just something
it's like
we
the
do add in our
folklore
mind.
of the ghost lady. It's always
for sure.
Now, like you're always like picture that white light, that white bright light that protect you. Is it something heavenly? Is it something virtuous? Is it just us? I don't know.
One of them questions I don't think we'll ever know, but you're so right. It's such a cliche
there's always
thing,
a
but
woman
it's
in a
so
white
true.
dress.
Yes.
Always.
For sure.
Another thing, the I hate dolls. So excuse me, the fucking dolls, dude. I cannot stand dolls. Are there dolls that are in this asylum also?
Oh, that whole room is full of them. So the one Doris's room, the cook's room, people bring these dolls there, and one of them has no friggin' eyes. So like one of the openings, like one of the early scenes in the film, I'm walking in there with Rhonda to do her cold walkthrough, and she's going to read the property. And I didn't work this one on the mediumships. I was just starting really getting heavy into my mediumship journey then. So I was pretty much just investigator in the role in this. I didn't focus on that. I would help out where I could, but that wasn't my primary function on this. I was also directing, so I had to, my plate was full. But we're walking into this. I'm taking her on her walkthrough of the asylum, and she's wanting to do a cold read. So she knows nothing about the place. She shows up. She's going to read the place, and we walk into Doris's room. I hadn't been in there yet because we had scouted the place, earlier, but I hadn't been like through all the floors, and I had never been to the asylum before. in fact, when my team went, my wife had just gotten diagnosed with cancer, and I wasn't able to go. She had breast cancer. She's in remission now, thank God.
Oh, good.
But I wasn't able to go when they first went. So when we went back several months later, almost a year later, to do the project, I had never actually walked into the building at that point. So my first time walking in, because we were doing exteriors and everything that morning, so they were wanting to shoot the inside, the camera crew guys were. And so we're like, well, she's here. Let's go ahead and get this part shot. So we go in there and we walk into the first floor, and we're walking around doing the thing. In the very first room that we turn in that she wants to go to, I walk in, and I'm not shitting you. There's like 50 dolls in this room.
Oh.
And the first one that I walk by, I look down, it's got no eyes. It's got black eye sockets. And I'm like, so in the film, I'm like, oh my God, it's got no eyes. And then so I actually disrupted Rhonda's reading because I'm trying to look at this doll with no eyes. So yeah, there's a whole room full of dolls.
Oh God, I hate dolls. I don't know if it's like my aunt had like American something dolls, and they were pretty dolls. They were like she probably spent a ton of money on them when I was a kid, but like awful. And then like as a joke, I've always been Buddy. I've been Buddy since I was like 2 days old. My Buddy doll, I fucking hate it. I hate it. They bought me a My Buddy doll when I was a kid as a joke because they thought they were being cute. People used to sing me the My Buddy theme. It was just not fun. But I've hated dolls. I don't know what it is about them. I had this guy that I used to like investigate with. He was he had some intellectual disabilities. He wanted to get into the paranormal. So I'm like, all right, I took him under my wing. I'm like, let's go. We'll go out, do something, whatever. I took him to a few locations. I introduced him to a medium. He was getting into it. He'd send me like pictures like, dude, look at this. It's like it's a picture of a man in a window. Like, are you holding the camera with your phone? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you can see you, dude, in the reflection. So he was always constantly. He was one of these people who was constantly trying to have something happen, and he never did. And then, well, he did a few times with me, but then he wanted to have something like prolific happen. So he's like, he messages me one day on Facebook. He's like, hey, I went on eBay and I bought a haunted doll. Like, what do you mean? You bought a haunted? It's like it's haunted. How do you know it's haunted? First of all, yeah. How do you know?
How you know?
You're not gonna get screwed over. How much money did you spend? Oh, yeah, I spent like $200, so it's gotta be real. Like, yeah, okay. And so like, good luck with that. So like, a few weeks go by and he calls me. He messages me. He's like, buddy, you gotta help me with this. He's like, this doll got here. It's this thing. This doll got here. Like crazy shit starts happening. Like my cupboards are flying open. Stuff's coming out of my cupboards. Like this doll moves. I hear voices. It's crazy. Like, dude, you put the doll into the house because you wanted this shit to happen. And then when it does, you were shitting your pants. I had him. I reached out to a local demonologist who connected with this guy and got rid of the doll and the spirit for him. But like, oh, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you invite it in, you got to deal with what comes with it. You know, I mean, you gotta be careful with it.
Of all things, a doll too. Oh, awful. The third thing I noticed from that video is the guy. He was like one of your investigators. Maybe he was raising like hair on the back of his neck. Did he get scratched? Was there a scratching, or was there any?
So he got pinched. He actually got pinched. So, to give you a little backstory on some of the people that are involved in the project. So, the guy you see talking about the 58,000 square feet, his name is J.W. Prather. So, if you're familiar with IDC devices, if you've ever seen a lot of the ghost shows use them, they use the direct link is one mostly used or was first used on Ghost Adventures, but he's been building devices for the paranormal for years. Jay's a next level guy. He does a lot of stuff with quantum physics. He's really, really sharp guy. So his thing is all about the science and all about, you know, making experiments to try and debunk or prove the existence of different phenomena on that level. So we brought Jay into the project and we actually wired the 58,000 square feet. So we wired it to be for real-time EVP so we could hear what was happening on every single floor during experiments. We could do ghost box sessions through all 58,000 square foot at once. We did seances where we actually put our energy through the entire 58,000 square feet, had people at different floors, you know, and would have experiences. So we did some next level stuff you've probably not seen on any of the so-called ghost shows. The guy that moves his hair, he actually did. He got pinched. It looked like somebody like took their fingers and just pinched the back of his neck. We were doing an experiment where we used the frequencies associated with like fire and destruction. Because there's a fire that happened in the 1850s at the 1855 or 58, I believe they had a fire that actually burnt down the asylum, the original asylum. But the footprint of that place is what they built the new asylum on. And we did frequency experiments basically off of some of Tesla's theories and frequency modulation, and used the world's largest Bluetooth speakers, filled the site with these sounds, used smoke machines and red lights to simulate fire, and then shut everything down, and then ran through the doors, banging on the doors, saying, get out, fire, fire, fire.
Oh
then
my
sat
God.
to see what would happen. So that was the experiments that we were doing. So we were doing some light stuff and some other frequency stuff later in the evening. And he was taking these lights and like a strobe effect, flashing a light. And one of the girls, Rhonda, actually had gotten touched in the room. So we went back in there and he lit the lights up and he said, "Are you touching people?" And you see him on camera. The light goes off, the light comes on. Then all of a sudden he jerks his head and grabs his neck. And when he comes out, it looks like somebody pinched the back of his neck. So yeah, I mean, really cool experiences. We did some next level experiments. It was a fun project. Took a long time to get it done. But I'm pleased to announce, and this is actually, you're the first show that's going to hear this. This is breaking news on your show. After a 4-year journey to get this thing done, I have officially signed a distribution deal for the project. It will be releasing very, very soon. I can't say exactly where for sure yet, but I would say Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and a few other, YouTube on demand, and a few other places. So yeah,
that'd be awesome. When should we expect this? By the end of the summer, early fall?
I would say early fall at the latest. Like I said, we've signed a deal. All I've got to do is actually get the deliverables ready for them, and it will be going out. It'll be available on DVD probably as well.
Nice, good for you, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. Honestly, just from an investigator's point of view, just to see the way somebody else is doing it, and what you guys are like that with the fire thing that you were just with the lights and the smoke. That's next level there, right there, dude. That's like holy shit. That's pretty cool. That's incredible. So good luck with that, and we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. Yeah, for sure. Another question I have for you. You're a fireman by trade. Your main job, right? What is it now? My great uncle was a fireman, and he was a captain in Providence. After he came home from World War II, he went and he was a fireman for like 30 years, and he was like a big hero. What is it with firemen and mustaches? Is it like a badge of honor?
It's a thing. Like a lot of guys don't have them, but a lot of us guys do. I've had a mustache since I was 16 years old. My brother was a fireman. He had a mustache, so I've got a mustache. So yeah. I thought you were going to say, why are so many firemen into the paranormal? But I have a theory on that too. I think it's because we spend so much time around death. Yeah. We get attracted to the curiosity of what happens next. So, no, the mustache thing it's definitely a thing for firemen.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I have a mustache a little bit, but I have the full beard going.
You got the whole thing,
yeah.
I mean, let me ask you a question. If you were to shave that tomorrow, would you feel like you lost your identity?
Oh, for sure.
I would.
Right. So I went to Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Not this year, I didn't get to go this year, but I went last year. And a young man by the name of Russ Stiver, good guy. He's from Massachusetts. He was doing charity for Daniel Cleese. His daughter Shaylee has cancer, right? He was doing the whole, and he was shaving he has a beard like man. He's shaving his beard. He shaved his legs. They put patches on like his like upper thighs and his chest and stuff, and ripping that out, and all crazy shit for money. And he did every patch that he did. It was like $5. And then people would donate money for him to shave. He shaved his whole body. He's like, buddy, come on. And I'm like, I'd love to do it for charity, but this is who I am. This is my identity. If I shave my beard,
give you money. I am not shaving my mustache.
Exactly. I'll give you $100, dude. I'll donate.
Exactly.
I actually believe in donation, but dude, this is
I'll shave anybody else's mustache you want me to, but I'm not shaving mine.
I've had this beard for like 20 years. I'm not going to get rid of it. I mean, I feel bad for this kid, absolutely, and I want to do what I can to help her out, absolutely. But shave my beard, that's like changing my name, dude. That's like I don't know. It's just not cool. So yeah, no, I get it. The mustache is cool, for sure. So when you went to Gettysburg, did you do any ghosty stuff while you're up there, or did you just do the conference?
No, this time I didn't have time. We were there with Gettysburg Bash. I have in the past. Good
What have you done? What have you done in the past at Gettysburg?
So mainly the battlefields and some of the other areas. A good friend of mine, Taryn Kerper with Paranormal Brew, actually has taken me up there a few times to a couple of places there and investigate around the battlefields and a few things. Fortunately, you can't get there in the dark, but yeah, it's been pretty cool. I mean, to me, just as a history buff, just spending time in those battlefields is good enough if I don't get to investigate, because I just it's something about it, man. It's got an energy and a vibe that is so peaceful.
Dude.
That's so peaceful. I mean,
you know,
you think about that death and destruction, yet it is just so tranquil. I don't know. It's a zen place for me, especially Little Round Top.
Yeah, dude, Little Round Top at sunset is
that's it.
I did that in 2018, and we went for the 155th anniversary, and my friend's like, "You got to come meet us. We'll have cigars," and it was like one of the best experiences in my life. Just that you're on top of like. Yeah.
Oh gosh, man! And just imagining what that would have been like back then. So let me tell you what happened to me this year. So we went there for a sunset, because I always catch a sunset at Little Round Top whenever I'm there. And I'm there, and these two people walk up in period clothes, and I'm like, "Holy shit! What are the odds?" So I stopped them. They were a really friendly couple, so they let me take some pictures. So I took some sunset pictures with them in period clothes, and they came out. I wish I'd had my good cameras. I just had my cell phone. But they came out awesome. So I was nerding out because I had two people in period clothes standing there. And to me, it was like looking back in time to what it would have been like to see somebody back then. So, that's the kind of thing I get nerdy about.
1863 for sure.
Gosh, man.
That whole area from like Little Round Top to Culp's Hill, the middle, everything involved. Almost every monument. There's a ton of Rhode Island history out there. Like I said, it's just And that's all I really go for. I go for all the Rhode Island monuments. I'll go for the Irish Brigade, of course, because I'm a little Irish, as you can tell. And the Father, what's his name? Father Corley, where he's doing the prayer. I think that's absolutely just inspiring. Just like guys, just like getting that final blessing before they run off into the most bloodiest part of like a battle.
Oh man,
like the Irish Brigade, just absolutely. And I think it was like the wheat field or it's a wheat field at Gettysburg. The only paranormal-ish thing I ever did at Gettysburg, ever, I was walking through the peach orchard and I was singing Dixie. I was hoping for just like it was middle of the day, it was broad daylight, just hoping for maybe, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like punch me in the gut, whatever. But like just an experience.
For sure.
Any other battlefields, Matt, that you've been to, being down in Tennessee? I'm sure that you.
I mean, for paranormal investigations, no. I have visited Chickamauga. I have visited Shiloh and a few others. In my metal detecting days, before I really, this is many years ago, before I got so busy with everything else, I used to go to some organized relic hunts in Northern Virginia on private property, not on battlefields, on old farms where they had long-term encampments. So while up there, though, of course, I visited Chancellorsville and Yellow Tavern, Wilderness. What else? Brandy Station, Battle of Brandy Station. So I love the Civil War history and going to those battlefields. So
it's absolutely the best. I did. I always said to everybody, like, hey, what's the first place you would do if you like won the Powerball? I'm like, I'd go to Virginia for like 1 month. Like, just go to every single battlefield. Revolutionary War, Battle of War of 1812, Civil War. Oh my God, there's so much going on down there. It's just absolutely phenomenal.
You could start at the DC. You could start at the DC line and go all the way to the Tennessee line, and you would fill up a month and probably not even see it all.
Easily,
and probably not even see it all.
One state. Really good friend of mine, my best friend actually. He's in the military. He just got accepted to a couple months ago. He got accepted to the prestigious National War College. So he's down there in DC, and he's like every weekend he's like at an Antietam, or he's had like Brandywine Station, or he's had like Bull Run. Like, you son of a bitch.
Yep, man.
That's wonderful. So bucket list, Matt. If you had the top 3 places in this country that you want to get to, that you want to investigate, right off the top of your head, right now.
This country, the top 3 places that I would go in this country, Alcatraz definitely would be one very high on my list. Second would be Rolling Hills, because I've never made it up there. I've wanted to go.
New York, right?
Yep.
Western New York.
Yep. And I know a lot of people say it's a mixed review, but it's just one I've always wanted to do, and that's Waverly. I've never made it to Waverly. I'm supposed to have gone to Waverly Hills 3 times. and all 3 times I've had stuff come up. So I just haven't been meant to be there yet.
Like Kentucky or West Virginia, right? That's West Virginia?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's West Virginia. No, is it Kentucky?
Yes.
I think it's Kentucky, actually.
Kentucky.
I could be wrong. I don't know. No, maybe it is West Virginia. You might be right.
Maybe. Yeah, it's down that way. Down.
Yeah,
it's Allegheny. Allegheny's down there. I think that's in Pennsylvania.
Now, Trans-Allegheny was amazing. We did it a couple of months ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I would. It's expensive, so you need a group of people, obviously. But I'm telling you, one of the most amazing locations. It is almost 200,000 square feet. I mean, it is a massive place. Yeah, it was.
And you pay for just your team to be in there that night, or are there multiple people there?
Nope, just my team.
Oh wow!
I have 11 people on my team, so I have I have 12 people on my team, so I have a fairly large team.
That's pretty good.
So,
I usually right now I keep anywhere from 4 to 6. It keeps it simple. So when we're doing like small locations like residential houses and stuff, it's easier to let everybody come along and either split off or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I actually got the team actually grew because up until COVID especially, residential casework was really heavy for us. I mean, to a point we were doing so much of it as 3 or 4, but we couldn't keep up with it. So plus we do a lot of publics. We have 5 sites here in East Tennessee that we have pretty much exclusive access to because public events is we educate people on the paranormal, bring messages over for loved ones, and most importantly, we raise money for those sites. To keep those sites open, to give that history to people who might not otherwise see that history. And that's what we do. We do a lot of this. We do anywhere
open people a little bit up to like all these people are interested in investigating, and then they go to a public investigation. That's how do you? So for me, I've done public investigations for folks and have people come in and pay money, investigate, and donate the money to, of course, to the charity that we're raising the money for. Or I've done investigation myself where me and some friends will go, all right, let's help these guys out. Let's go on a public. The value of a public investigation, not really great. How do you make that? Because there's so many people talking, or there's so many factors that you just can't control.
Absolutely great question. For me personally, like I don't do a lot of those because I would rather be able to control the environment, have my team.
Yes.
But with those, what we do is where I do have such a large team, I'm able to break us into smaller groups. I'll take 2 of my investigators and put you with 4 or 5 people at most. So you're in much smaller groups, and then we do rotations. So that way we're still controlling that environment. People are still able to have experiences, and they're able to do it in a way that and get access to sites they might not otherwise get. So that's what our focus is when we do those events. We don't do so many people that it's just like
You're
giant
tripping over each other's audio sometimes, and it's like, oh, did you hear that? Yeah, that was Buddy down the hall.
Yeah. Now, so for EVP work, yes, and I always tell people that even on our publics, like EVPs, you're welcome to try them, but it's gonna be very, very hard to rule out contamination. So we focus on other experiments. We do seances, we do more of the Victorian era stuff. We mix some of that stuff in with it. So yeah, but the big thing is getting those for those sites to help raise money. And like, for example, we got one site here in Sullivan County that we provide investigations to. We do 4 nights a year. We raise more money in those 4 nights than they get from the county to run the place.
Jesus.
They get nothing from the county. If they don't get donations in our investigations, they wouldn't stay open. And it's from 1795, the site, which is old for Tennessee. Which is old.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's really old for you guys.
Now up by you, that's not old. By us, that's old.
No, yeah, we said Rhode Island was established as a colony in 1639. So we've been around. We've been around for a little. We've been doing things here for a little while for sure. So if you could recommend 3 places in this country to any investigator to definitely go to, other than Waverly, not Waverly.
Oh, for sure. Of the places I've been to.
Other than Trans-Allegheny.
Yep.
Where would you recommend 3 top places?
3 top places that I would recommend. Now, are we talking civilians or actual established teams?
Whatever. I mean, you're
there's a caveat. There's a reason I say that.
You can form a group and go anywhere. Yeah, but all right, established teams, whatever.
All right, I'll say teams. And there's a reason I say that, because one of the sites I'm going to mention is a site that I definitely think that the people should come to, but they need to be an experienced team. And I'll talk about it in just a second. My other 2 top places that I would send people to and say that you absolutely have to go and investigate and try is Harriman Hospital down in Middle Tennessee And also in Tennessee, another great site is Brushy Mountain Penitentiary. Both of those are two super active, fantastic sites. I could give a bunch more from other places. Yep. And it's an old community hospital. And you got the whole hospital. Like you rent it out for a night, you got the whole hospital.
Cool.
And it takes up like 3 city blocks. So yeah, it's off the chain. Yep. It's very active. He also owns another one in a neighboring town called Old South Pittsburgh. Pretty famous.
Oh yeah. I've heard of that for sure. Yeah. I've known people that have done that.
Personally, I think Harriman is more active. I've done Harriman 3 times, and I've done Old South 2 or 3 times. But I prefer Harriman over Old South personally.
Really?
Personal preference. Not saying Old South is bad, just personal preference. The third site, and this is a site that's a little less known, but it's the Ura Shrine in Bristol, and it is a place like no other place on the planet. It's a place that we just did some publics at. We're getting ready to do some more publics there, to help raise some money for the site. But yeah, it's a place like no place else you've ever been. It's not a typical haunted place. It's not a place that was something. It's a place that is something. Every type of magical practice, everything is welcome there. So if you could think of anything that could have been done in a occult site setting, it's been done there, and it's welcome there because that's what the place is for. And it houses some artifacts that would make Zach Bagans' museum look like a tourist attraction. So highly recommend the Ura Shrine, but you have to be vetted. You have to be an established team. You have to not be just because it's not a place for everybody. But it is a place like no place you've ever experienced.
That's cool. All right. Before we wrap up tonight, I know you in your intro we talked about you're into the occult, you're into curses and stuff like that. Being a Red Sox fan, of course I believe in curses, but I actually had I actually have a viewer that sent me something last night. I'm like, hey, funny that you sent me this because I got a guy on tomorrow night that's gonna want to talk about curses, and this kind of sounds like a curse. So I'm gonna read you what she gave me, and you tell me your thoughts on that. As a medium, as an investigator, as a person, as a human being, just let me know what you think. All right. So this is what she wrote. Okay. So in 2005, my best guy friend in college who lived 2 rooms down died in a car accident. He died on what's known as Frenchtown Road ramp. It's an exit off of Route 95 running through here in Rhode Island. A year and a half later, Nick, her boyfriend at the time, her fiance, also dies in a car accident on Frenchtown Road on the Frenchtown Road exit. In 2019, Spence, her then boyfriend, who has struggled with alcohol and depression for most of his life, she convinces him to go to the hospital for meds and help. He dies at the hospital. A year and a half later, her best friend Bridget, who also struggles with alcohol and depression, she convinces her to go to the hospital for meds and help. She then dies in the hospital. Her childhood/early adult BFFs, she's only had 4: Bridget, Sherry, Jackie, and Kara. Kara, we had a falling out because of a guy and didn't talk anymore. She had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. She dies of pancreatic cancer. Then Jackie, we had a falling out because of a guy and didn't talk anymore. She had 2 kids, boy, then a girl, dies of pancreatic cancer a year and a half later, which was like last week. Is this girl cursed, or is this just all like coincidence? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So my first initial thought on that is, I think curses, hexes, the occult is not what people think in Hollywood movies and in TV shows. I think the occult gets blamed for a lot of things that really have nothing to do with the occult.
Yeah.
Most occult practices, and this is literally true, it's more about self-work, shadow work. It's more about finding your own truth. It's more inner than it is outer. Now, I'm not saying that there are not dark spells, because there are, and there are witches, there are hexes, there are curses. These things are possibilities. Yeah. I don't know that because a series of deaths over a period of time, I wouldn't jump to a curse unless there was a reason to suspect that there was. Now, if there was a family history of messing with dark occult, a family history of, something that would indicate that as a possibility, then that would be another discussion. But off the top of my head, sometimes things are just things. And so
this girl wasn't. Her family didn't have anything to do with the occult. They were very Christian. However, her family does have a history of like sexual abuse. I don't know if that plays into any of it. But
Yeah,
so
and
she
don't
had that happen in the beginning of her life, and then all this other shit since. So she's like, "Am I cursed, buddy?" I'm like, I don't know. That's Matt tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm not saying that the occult would be a reason for that. I'm just saying I would be looking for me to jump to the conclusion of somebody being hexed or cursed. I would be looking for something to indicate there would be a reason for them to be hexed or cursed. Somebody who's had essentially a normal life, other than maybe some bad trauma, but has not dabbled in things or has not been exposed to that world. That's kind of a stretch. I think hexes are a misunderstood thing. Yes, they're real, but they're not something that is as prevalent as Hollywood would like us to believe that they are.
So while most paranormal investigators, mediums, etc., will say there is no such thing as coincidences,
I agree.
Is this all just a coincidence, or why is this happening like this? Or what? What are your thoughts?
See, that is a tough question because I personally don't believe in coincidences. I think everything happens for a reason or a purpose. I truly do believe that, even though sometimes we don't understand it. Sometimes they are just things that are beyond our understanding or grasp. One thing I do find peculiar about her story in particular is the same road and two people she knows. That's kind of strange. But without more background, without actually meeting her, reading her, and actually diving into her case, it'd be really hard for me to speculate. But yeah, I personally, if you're asking my opinion on coincidences, I don't necessarily believe in the coincidences, but I also think that sometimes things just happen that we just aren't meant to understand, and it may be as simple as things just happen sometimes. And
total
sometimes
disclosure: there is this girl is like one of the most like bubbly, warmest, awesome personalities that you'll ever run into. She warms my heart every time I see her. So I don't.
Wow.
She's not a scumbag at all. So it baffles me how such an awesome person could have just shitty things happen throughout her life.
I will say this: if she would like to reach out privately through you, I'd be happy to talk to her. If not, I have some people that if I can't help her, I have some people that might be able to dig a little deeper.
I've tried to get her on the show. I'm like you got to come on. I have a medium coming on. This is before she told me any of this shit. I mean, I knew it like here and there about it, but I didn't know it all was so congruent. And she said, "Oh no!"
I mean, that is an awful lot of shit to happen in the lifespan.
She's afraid what they're gonna what like a medium like yourself would tell her. I think, and that's her biggest fear.
I get that, yeah. And it might, but the answer simply, my intuition says the answer could simply just be sometimes shitty stuff happens. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but that is sometimes just life, you know.
Life does kick you in the balls sometimes. I
mean, 30 years as a firefighter, I've seen a lot of stuff that is senseless and makes no sense.
Amen,
and
brother.
people, people can't explain it, and I can't explain it either. It's just, unfortunately, it is.
Yeah, it is. All right. Matt, it's been an awesome conversation, awesome time tonight. Where can people find you, find more about you, watch for your field of fears when it actually comes? When it actually comes to fruition.
So the easiest place to track pretty much a lot of this is www.srsparanormal.com. If you're on Facebook and social media, it's SRS Paranormal on all the socials, and Shadowwork Productions LLC. And there is actually we just launched the Facebook page today. It's got nothing really on it yet for the film itself. So all of those things can be reached through our main SRS stuff.
That's great, dude. That's great. Like I said, it's been awesome having you on it. Like, it's always good to talk to like a fellow investigator. Somebody, you can be from California, Alaska, Ireland, Russia. We all have something kind of like weird in common. We all like are fascinated and chase dead people. So I mean, it's cool to see.
It's so true. Some of the closest relationships of people that I have in my life, I have met through paranormal. People I didn't know. They live in different states, and we're close. They're family.
You guys connect because you both have that like weird desire to chase this shit, and I did so. So I mean, it's nothing weird about it. If you like weird things, even if you don't like weird things, if you like beer things, tune in this Thursday and next Thursday as Three Dudes Brews. The last call. We haven't been on in a while. We'll be on this week, just Ed and I. And next week, the three of us will be on. And of course, we'll have a guest dude of the week as we took beer and everything and nothing. And of course, here on The Ghost and the Ghost, join The Ghost and the Goat. Join us next week as we welcome Todd Bates. He's founder of EVP Explorations. He's a radio host. He's an EVP specialist. I'm an EVP specialist. I love this shit. I can't get enough of it.
I can't wait to watch that one.
Tune in next week at 8 p.m. live, as always. For Matthew Sorge, for the GOAT. This has been me, Buddy Thayer, paranormal investigator, the ghost and the GOAT. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a great night. Tune in next week. Tune in Thursday. Drink good beer. Drink local. Drink foreign. Whatever. Have a good time. Be safe. Don't drive if you've been drinking. I'm not
Definitely
going anywhere. I'm just going to go downstairs and go to bed.
You don't want to see a guy like me if you've been driving drinking.
Right, exactly. I like seeing dead people. I don't want to see dead people that used to watch my show and
correct,
and all
correct.
that stuff. So that's it. Have a good night. Have a good night, folks, and have a good week. Thanks for tuning in.